G'day team, here I am wandering along a very miserable rainy Sydney harbour. You put on here for me, Jihad. I'm here with, of course, Jihad Dib, New South Wales Shadow Minister for Energy and Climate. And we've just been catching up with some of our senior ESC members, talking energy efficiency, electrification, you know, how we support the community to get their head around, you know, all the opportunities that before us as we work through this climate transition. Jihad, what were your key takeouts after catching up with members?
Well, Luke, thanks for putting on the great weather. But I mean, anytime you can be near Sydney Harbour, you'd be happy with it. It was fantastic. It was a really great opportunity, and I want to thank you and the council for putting it together, and all of your members. I know that they couldn't all be there today, but a really terrific group that we had, and talking about things that are really important. We know that we've got to act on climate. We know that we've got to get people's homes more efficient. But what we were talking about today was the how. How do we ensure that we get to take place? How do we make sure that government can work really well with business and with industry groups? What are the gaps and how do we fill those gaps? What sort of education programs can we work on to ensure that everybody comes on this journey? Because what we saw were there's a need to act. That's the first and foremost. But then there's a lot of people who want to act, don't know how to act, they don't know what it is that they need to do. Then there's some barriers for people that, you know, like either cost barriers or a lack of understanding of it, the lack of urgency. So what was really brilliant was to be able to bounce a number of different ideas. And I've got to say, your key members certainly had some great ideas.
It seemed like one of the things you were really interested in that was really sparking your attention was that idea of how, you know, we take, you know, Australia's passion for solar, which, you know, has obviously, you know, done incredible things over the last 20 years, and translate that into a secondary dividend, which is, you know, an electrification agenda. How we support the community to make the best use of their solar. And you were talking about how, you know, you had that experience in your own household, and you know, you went through an education process with your own family about, you know, when they could use their appliances. And how did that go for you?
Well, I think that was first. It was the old teacher in me, but you know, running some classes on how we best use our solar. Now, I'll say that they can use the power any time, but I was trying to say, well, let's make most use of the solar panel. So basically, to actually explain to them what it meant by, you know, an 8 kilowatt system, what did that mean, and how many basically appliances they can have on at any given time. But an understanding of solar, because my kids just thought, oh, we've got solar on the roof, then that's just all that happens. Still trying to do things at night, that we've changed the pattern of how we behave at home during the day, running the different, you know, the washing machine or the dishwasher, whatever it might be, using that. But the point being that I think we can do a really great education program so people get best use out of it. And the other bit about moving towards the electrification is how do we assist people who want to move now, not only households but businesses who want to become more energy efficient or move towards an electrification process. How do we ensure that we, I suppose, remove obstacles that could be in their way and make it not only worth their while financially, but it's also really important to save this precious world that we live in.
And I suppose that's where a lot of agendas are coming together. Obviously, we're facing huge cost pressures when it comes to energy. Efficiency is going to play a big role in addressing that, but also fuel switching can be aligned with that broader climate agenda and that transition that we're on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It ties in so well, and we were going through a bit of an energy crisis at the moment, and we're getting a situation where we've had energy price increases, you know, up to 20%. You know, we've had a really cold winter. People are turning their heaters on, but I've had situations where people are choosing not to. We saw a recent near tragedy, thank goodness it didn't happen, the other day, where somebody's actually used a hippie charcoal fill in their home. So we've got to make sure that we can get more energy into the system, and the best way that we can do that is by hurrying up with our renewable energy process, getting them out there, getting our storage right. We need stability into the grid, because we get stability into the grid through all the different jigsaw puzzle pieces, then I think we'll make sure that we guarantee that there's always an energy supply, get the prices down. We live in a first world country. We should be not worrying about, you know, a lack of energy and the fact that maybe it's not affordable. And it ties in so well with the climate change portfolio, because of course we want to reduce the emissions, and we know where the big reductions are in. And so electrification is key to that. and we've just got to make sure that we get all of the puzzle pieces together and bring everyone on the journey.
Well, Jihad, we're I don't know, 7 or 8 months out from a New South Wales election. I know you're doing some deep thinking and some active stakeholder engagement. We really appreciate you coming and listening to some of the ideas from EEC members about how New South Wales can continue to lead on the energy efficiency agenda, on that broader clean energy agenda. We're looking forward to continuing to work with you as you develop your thinking.
No, thank you so much, mate. It was a pleasure. It was my honour to be able to spend that time and to learn as well a great deal. And thanks for the support, and thanks to everybody who's doing their bit to try and make it better. This issue is bigger than politics. We've got to make sure that we get this right, and we've got to act faster than what we've been doing. So hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Cool. Thanks, mate.
Thanks.